from such history specials as Coming to America, a Jewish narrative, not the Eddie Murphy movie, and additionally, the critically acclaimed The Notebook, the story of Rashi's Kuntras. Today, you are going to watch a very special JTS Hanukkah special. Together, we are going to explore the drama, the tragedy, and the recipes that make the Hanukkah the noblest day in the Jewish calendar. Hi, I didn't notice you there. On this beautiful spring day, we're going to ask the tough questions. Who was Antiochus? Who was the real Judah Maccabee? Where was God in the Holocaust? We're going to answer all these questions and more. And we will begin with the story of the Hanukkah.
The story of the Hanukkah takes place a long time ago in a land called Canaan, or in Hebrew, Narnia. This was the year, and don't quote me on this, 1964, and Jewish life was dramatically shifting under the influence of the Greco-Roman British invasion. While Jews and hippies coexisted peacefully for thousands of years, life came to a halt when the king Antiochus IV made a decree saying that Jews can no longer study Torah, pray in public, perform circumcisions, or do anything else well. Antiochus's terrible decree has been called by historians Antiochus's terrible decree. In a rare moment of Jewish unity, the Jews all stood in a line and cried, "Antiochus is a tyrant, and someone needs to fight back, not with sword and bloodshed, but with words, or with sword and bloodshed, either way. But who will be our leader?" And the Jews all waited for an answer in awkward silence. Finally, one brave Jew stepped up and said, "My name is Judah Maccabee. I am a leader, and I don't mind killing people." And the rest is history. The Jews banded together in the morning, and guided by the sacred principles of Rabbi Joseph Telushkin's A Code of Jewish Ethics, the Judah Maccabee said, "Forget everything. Forget everything you know about morality. We're about to make history." And through acts of violence, the Jews discovered that actions speak louder than words, except for words like, "Ah!" and "No!" And at the end of the historical merciless rampage, the Jews found a menorah in the temple. The Jews looked at each other and asked, could this be the miracle of the Hanukkah? And although most of the Yidden were tired out after a long day of fighting and killing, Judah searched and found a small jug of oil with only enough magic to last one day. So Judah sent his siblings, Paul, Peter, and Mary, to buy more magic oil, which they did. And to their credit, the candles stayed lit for a full 8 days, even though people had to keep relighting them. And that was the miracle of the Hanukkah, I think.
Hi again. You just caught me singing some of my best friends from our neighborhood. And now that you and I are together again, with all of my friends, Cholent, I want to take a few minutes to reflect on why the Hanukkah is different from all other nights. Lindsey, are you listening? Kishka, are you listening? On all other nights, we don't light any candles, but on this night, we light as many as 11 candles. But why? From warm family gatherings around the fireplace to lonesome evenings watching Adam Sandler on repeat, there are literally 3 million ways and customs to observe the Hanukkah. And if there's one thing that we are known for at the Jewish Theological Seminary, it is the diversity of our religious practice and the joy we bring to the religious world. And we went around and we asked some of the seminary's most respected faculty, what are your favorite ways to observe the Hanukkah?
My favorite memory of celebrating the Hanukkah as a young child was when we would gather around the fire and watch the neighbors from a distance.
My favorite part of Hanukkah is refraining from planting trees for 6 days.
Since I was a small child, we were at home, we turned off all the lights, we took a feather in the spoon, and then we went around looking for KGB. And whoever found KGB won the game, but also might have lost their life.
My favorite Hanukkah ritual is wearing all black and sitting on low chairs and telling really sad stories.
There is no better time to be a citizen of the entirety of the universe than on Hanukkah. In fact, when it comes to Hanukkah, I love literally each and every custom. I would love to share with you my fondness for the practices and norms of the Hanukkah. Please join me as I explore the depths of my laboratory of memory, my rememberarium, if you will, at the top of my list. Exhaling as we dip the parsley into the fire, next solving the riddles of days of yore, and
We would go around and greet strangers begrudgingly with a holiday spirit.
The March Madness.
Tap dancing with cartoon characters.
Singing Lecha Dodi.
forgiving the unforgivable, wearing a different onesie every day. And who could forget?
Scattering breadcrumbs along a path.
We would give gifts to the feeble-minded.
Painting the neighbors' houses, whatever colors God wanted.
Proposing plans for world peace at the International House of Pancakes.
Latkes to play with, sevivans to eat.
Removing all the toys from the house.
My friends and I have been known to destroy every bottle of perfume we can get our hands on.
Removing the flora from the fauna and distinguishing between flotsam and jetsam.
Healing the fatally ill through cheerful music.
Letting loose in Ahava Rabbah mode.
The 2-mile march of 7-year-olds.
Stealing books. That, by the way, I re-encountered now that I work for JTS. There is a secret faculty tradition that on Hanukkah we all go to the library by candlelight, steal the books, and put them on our shelves in our offices. That's the reason why you never find anything in the library.
Writing thank you letters to Ben and Jerry's for being on God's side.
Censoring the weekday martyrology service.
Sitting in the dark.
Communing with rodents and birds in Central Park as we gather face to face, feather to feather, whisker to whisker, whispering sweet words of wisdom. Luyahi, let it be.
Building a real live tabernacle of the heart, literally.
Lecture about conservative Judaism.
I could go on listing my favorite Hanukkah customs, from the dawn of man until the dusk of civilization. Perhaps those two are in fact coincident and contiguous, but from here till the great black hole embraces us all.
Blog about conservative Judaism.
Drinking Hamantashen.
And tweet about conservative Judaism.
Family photosynthesis.
Celebrate the survival of conservative Judaism as the miracle of Hanukkah.
What Hanukkah is all about? Who knows? As far as I'm concerned, the rabbis made it up. It had nothing to do with oil, had nothing to do with Greeks. It was all a big rabbinic conspiracy.
Look, there never was a Hanukkah. You can't show me a single book in this entire library that might prove otherwise. As head librarian, as historian, and chief reflexologist of this institution, I've got to tell you that whatever you might say, you will not find the evidence to show otherwise. There never was a Hanukkah, and there never will be.
So there you have it, folks. There never was a Hanukkah. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot today. And let's remember, you should always be kind to your neighbor. And always call someone you trust when you see our library burning down. Now I'm going to ask for a little help from my friends to help close this evening with a song. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to now present the JTS Varsity Co-Ed Children's Choir.
Shavukot, ein zeman livkot, yeladim rokedim, im barvazanim, vechol echad me'echad, hofech lechoker kitvei yad, luchad lakat hanerot, lomedim hasharat hateudot. Chag HaShavukot, ein zeman livkot. Chag HaShavukot, ein zeman livkot. Woo!
You know, I spent 20 years in Palo Alto, California, and there really is something to this thing they call West Coast Judaism. West Coast Judaism thinks that East Coast Judaism is much too joyous. West Coast Judaism wants to be really serious and let Jews know that ours is not a religion that's all about fun and niceness. This is tough stuff. Hanukkah is a serious holiday. It's not about fun at all.
Another interesting custom that we had where I come from, in my community, is between the Ashkenazis and the Sephardim, you know. We always had a small enclave of Ashkenazim, and we had this battle going on between us, with our Sufganiot, and the Ashkenazim and their latkes. Now, you know, latkes are great to just throw around, to flip like a frisbee, but they suck if it comes to good war. So we usually creamed them with the Sufganiot. We won every single battle.
Tap dancing with cartoon characters during the Hanukkah. I was very fond of Betty of the Jetsons, and we would trip the light fantastic. It was quite beautiful. She was a real turn-on.
The latke is good to skip on lakes. They're not good for battles. Keep that in mind.
Reading from the book of the Hanukkah, riding upon giraffes amidst the great elephant stampede, manning up. Progenitor laws, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, remembering the silent Noahide laws, sitting in an octopus's garden, not benefiting from the light of the Sufganiyah.